Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey patterning, and today we've got another combo that we've never tried, and it's a pretty interesting one at that. And it could really kind of go either way. We could see a pretty good looking pattern, or this shell with this specific choke combo could absolutely do terrible as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this combo can actually do when we put it together. But as for the shell we've got here today, big thank you to Joseph for sending me some of these a while back. They've definitely been some interesting shells to test the few times we've done them so far. But those shells are some of these. The Federal 3rd Degree TSS shells. They are a 12 gauge, 3-inch, 1 3/4 ounce payload of number 5, 6, and 7 shot, moving about 1,250 feet per second. And from what I understand, the 5s and 6s are lead pellets, while the 7s are the TSS pellet. And from what I can remember, these are a flight control shell as well, which I think that's going to be the big question mark as to how they might perform through today's choke. And as for the setup we've got out here today, I brought out the Remington 1187, but I threw in this choke. This is a Patternmaster Black Mamba 690 constriction choke, and this is Patternmaster's kind of do-all choke. You can shoot buckshot through it, you can shoot steel waterfowl loads through it, you can shoot turkey shells through it, and it does use their gas over constriction design on the inside of that choke. So how is that going to play with these 3rd degree shells with the flight control wad and having them be a blended load of 5, 6s, and 7s? It could help them, it could really hurt them, we just don't know. So definitely a pretty interesting setup out here today to try. But as for the test today, everything is going to be the same as usual. I've got the turkey paper set up at 40 yards. I've also got the chronograph so we can get our velocity out of the shell. So let's get you guys to view this target and take this shot and see just what kind of a pattern we're able to get with these 3rd degrees through this Patternmaster Black Mamba 690. Okay, so that shell gave us 12.98 through the chrono. The boss claim is 12.50, so we definitely saw a good bit above that claim. Now, we do have a 28-inch barrel. They could have very well tested it through like a 24, 26, more turkey-oriented barrel. Or who knows, the gas over constriction in that Black Mamba could have played into a little bit of this higher velocity as well in some way or another. I don't know that that would be the case, but it could always be somewhat of a possibility. Either way, we're definitely getting up there and moving a little bit on the quicker side for a turkey shell. But what kind of a pattern did it actually give us down at 40 yards? Let's go check it out and see what we got. Alright, so now we're down here at our 40-yard target, and this is what we got. And I gotta say, it's definitely nothing great or nothing impressive, which that's kind of been the story with a lot of federal turkey shells in general, especially ones that use the flight control wad. In my testing, the flight control wads really have only seemed to do what they're supposed to do with a buckshot shell. When it comes to turkey shells or waterfowl shells, they really haven't been anything super impressive in my opinion. But as for this pattern here, I mean, we clearly have a dead turkey. There is one right through his brain and another one or two that would have clipped something in the spine. So you would have absolutely come home with that turkey, and to be fair, there's nowhere on that turkey paper, plus several inches on either side of it, that bird can move to and get away from you. So it definitely gives you leeway, but as you can see, you really don't have any defined core. It's more so just shot scattered on the paper. And although it does give you a good amount of leeway to work with, it's not really a super even pattern either. There's a bunch of blotchiness in it right under his beak there. You can see a big gap. As soon as you get up to the edges and right around off the edges of that turkey paper, you can see a bunch of splotchiness and holes. There's a little bit hotter area just off the bottom left of that turkey paper. And around the edges, you can see we have a couple strings all the way up there, and all the way at the bottom down there, there's a few pellets at the very edge of the paper. So it's really not a super even pattern. So once again, a federal turkey shell with a flight control wad, yeah, it is good enough to take out and get you a turkey with. But compared to the other offerings out there for the same price, just go get a longbeard shell from Winchester and you'll have a way better option. I guess if this is all you could find, yeah, it would work, but it's nothing impressive. Now, is there a possibility that the flight control wad didn't play well with that Black Mamba choke with the gas over constriction? question? Yeah, it's a possibility, but seeing as though this is pretty similar to what we had seen in our previous test with them, I don't really think it made too much of a difference in the grand scheme of things for today's pattern. But who knows, I guess. Either way, it's good enough. Definitely nothing impressive. Not exactly what I would look for in my turkey pattern, but it's usable if it's what you had. And at the end of the day, I think it's pretty much what I expected to see out of this combo. Or if nothing else, I think it's at least pretty realistic, all things considered, for how these shells have performed so far. Okay, and here's that flight control wad out of that shell, and I believe this is what they call their flight control flex wad with the slots down the side and not the flaps. And really, these ones in particular have not really impressed me. We've tried them through more open chokes, we've tried them through tight chokes, and just about everything in between, and they really haven't done anything outstanding. Now this one, it looks just fine. There's no tears, there's no disruptions in anything, there's no bulges or anything along the sides. The tail fins opened up perfect, and there's nothing stuck down in there, so you would think it would have done exactly what it was supposed to do. And I don't know, maybe it did as good as what it could have done, but still, I don't think it does anything impressive for our patterns, but it looks okay, all things considered. Alright, y'all, well, what did you think about that pattern right there? Is it usable enough to take out on a turkey hunt? Yes. It's good enough out to 40 yards to get you a turkey. Is it impressive? Definitely not. And like I already mentioned, compared to a longbeard shell, which I think you can actually get a little bit cheaper per shell than these as well, that's just a way better option. And when it comes to these 3rd degree shells or federal turkey shells in general, they just seem to be right under that ball compared to what the rest of the market is at. They're good enough, but not anything that I would go searching for either. But as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Have you tested any of these 3rd degree shells? And if so, what kind of results have you seen? Have you found some kind of a choke or shotgun combo that really works well with them? And what is it if you have? And would you hunt with that kind of a pattern? Let me know all that down below. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you like. All that information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm gonna get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.